everyone. Thank you for tuning in to watch my presentation. Today we are going to be discussing social media, data mining, and analytics. Here are the topics we'll cover. We'll start by talking about social media and putting together a concrete definition. Then we'll talk about data mining and analytics. Why is it important? Who cares? What's the purpose of data mining and analytics? Next, we'll talk about the challenges and ethical dilemmas facing data mining and analytics in regards to social media and its users. And then to bring all of the concepts together, we'll take a look at a case involving Facebook. Finally, we'll finish up by going over some discussion questions and looking at the resources I used for today's presentation. So what is social media? We all have our own definitions of social media, but I think it's important to put a concrete definition together so that we're all on the same page. Social media are online communication channels dedicated to instantaneous, community-based input, interaction, content sharing, collaboration, and consumption of information between groups of individuals. When you talk about social media, what sites or apps come to mind? For most people, they'll immediately think of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But there are so many more social media sites out there that people don't realize are considered a part of social media. Brian Solis, a digital analyst, created this social media chart known as the Conversation Prism to categorize social sites and services into various types of social media. You can see Facebook and MySpace, which surprisingly still exists, are in the social network category. Reddit is in the crowd wisdom section. Kickstarter is in the social marketplace. Twitter is a part of the social streams. LinkedIn is a social media platform in the business category. In the social curation slice, you'll find sites such as Pinterest. And to round out the wheel, we'll see Instagram and Snapchat in the pictures category. All of the sites you see here are a part of social media, so it's so much more than most people realize. Here's a fun, informative infographic that shows how social media and other sites or apps are being used every minute of the day. Some of the highlights are: Snapchat users watch almost 7 million videos every minute of the day. Instagram users like almost 2.5 million posts every minute. There are almost 1 million swipes on Tinder. Twitter users send emoji-filled tweets over 10,000 times. And YouTubers share 400 hours of new video every minute of every day. With numbers like this, it's easy to see why so many people are investing in social media data mining and analytics. Now that we have a clear understanding of social media, let's talk about data mining. What is it? Data mining is the practice of examining and sorting large sets of data to find underlying data patterns, which are then extracted to create a new set of understandable data that can be analyzed for further use. There are 4 stages of data mining. The first step is finding the data sources. Next is data exploration and gathering, which involves sampling and transforming the data. The third step is modeling. Here, a model is created, tested, and evaluated based on the data previously collected. The final step is to deploy the model and to take action based on the results. We will see this model put to use when we examine our Facebook case study later in the presentation. Now that we know what data mining is, let's talk about it in the context of social media. Social media data mining is the process of gathering, analyzing, and extracting actionable patterns from data collected from people's activities on social media to then make business decisions. But what does this mean? It means that social media data mining is the practice of gathering a whole bunch of information from blogs, network sites, social streaming sites, and other social media platforms to then analyze it to detect patterns. Based on these patterns, businesses and organizations are able to make important decisions. It's also important to note that social media data mining, and just data mining in general, encompasses many different disciplines. Disciplines such as computer science, social network analysis, sociology, statistics, and mathematics. It's by using aspects of each of these disciplines that we're able to represent, measure, model, and mine meaningful patterns from large sets of data harvested from social media. So who cares? The process of analyzing and extracting actionable patterns from social media is of great interest to advertisers, various companies and organizations, and even governments from around the world and political parties. Basically, everyone. But why do these groups care? What is the purpose of social media data mining and analytics? Well, the purpose of social media data mining and analytics is very simple. It's to understand the consumer by identifying actionable patterns in the data. Businesses are regularly using social media data mining and analytics to monitor, track, and analyze posts about their brand, product, and any related topic. The organization can then extract these patterns, mine customer sentiment, and take action. It can be used for planning, forecasting, real-time data, and obtaining information on competitors. It's in this way that data mining and analytics is able to help an organization gain deep, insightful knowledge about their consumers, which in turn allows for better target marketing and customer service. So there's a lot of potential when it comes to big data. Perhaps the most important purpose of social media data mining and analytics is that once we mine the data and find the underlying patterns, we can predict future data. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the ethical dilemmas or challenges that face social media data mining and analytics. One of the biggest ethical dilemmas is the possible compromise of consumer privacy. Data brokers collect information such as your age, gender, education level, school, income, net worth, home ownership, home value, property size, square footage, if you're newly engaged, if you're in a new relationship, etc. With this much data mining collected about individuals, many people are concerned for their privacy. Next is abuse by advertisers. Advertisers may take accumulated data about you and use targeted advertising for less than thrilling products. For example, people that are categorized as low income may only be shown low quality, poor interest rate mortgage offers. Similarly, if the data collected about someone indicates they own a motorcycle, they may only be shown ads for higher priced insurance. Finally, we have the actual security of the data. Just like any other data, the personal information is subject to hacking. Now, most of the data that's collected does not identify consumers by name. However, with the amount of data that's collected, it may be possible to figure out what data set applies to who. If personal data is leaked, there's no getting it back. Your personal information will be available for anyone to see. Now we're going to take a look at a case involving data mining and analytics, Facebook, and substance abuse. In May of 2017, a group of 3 researchers published the results of their study titled Social Media-Based Substance Use Prediction. Their hypothesis was that substance abuse changes people's patterns of behavior, and this is detectable in their social media messages. With this in mind, the researchers began collecting data from over 13,000 Facebook users with an average age of 23. They were asked what substances they used, how often, and how much. Based on this, the users were divided into groups according to their level of substance abuse. Next, the researchers collected data from 22 million status updates posted by over 150,000 Facebook users, and Facebook post like data from over 11 million Facebook users. The next step was to see how many users overlapped into different data sets. They found that almost 1,000 users were in all of the data sets, meaning they were in the status update data, the like data, and in the substance abuse data. Over 1,000 were in the substance abuse and status update data sets, and over 3,500 people were in the substance abuse and Facebook likes data set. The overlapping was good news for the researchers. Armed with all of the data, they were now able to mine through the data and analyze the unique patterns of behavior. When they found what they believed to be a pattern, they would look for people with similar patterns in other data sets to see if they had the same level of substance abuse and type. Once all of the data had been mined and analyzed, the researchers were able to create and deploy a model. The model was able to predict with an 86% accuracy who used tobacco, with an 81% accuracy who used alcohol, and with an 84% accuracy who used drugs. Based on the pattern the research team was able to find in the data, they were able to determine words, phrases, and behaviors that had a correlation to substance abuse. Here are some of their findings. Swear words, sexual words, and words related to biological processes, such as blood or pain, are positively correlated with all three types of substance abuse. Words related to anger, such as hate or kill, or words related to health, such as clinic or pill, are positively correlated with drug use. Spaced reference words, such as up and down, are positively correlated with alcohol use. A preference for movies such as V for Vendetta and Boondock Saints is positively correlated with alcohol use. And female references such as girl and woman are positively related to alcohol use as well. This is most likely because references to females are more likely to be made by males who are more likely to use alcohol in general. Now for our negative correlations. Male references such as man and boy are negatively correlated to drug use. Having a hobby is negatively correlated with drug use. Liking cartoons and shows favored by kids is negatively correlated to alcohol use. And liking brands favored by girls are negatively correlated with tobacco use. So what does this mean? What are the implications of this study? Based on social media data mining and analytics, we're able to successfully predict who is at risk of substance abuse problems. But this has larger implications too. Taking this information and this prediction analysis, is it possible to determine who is likely to have a mental disorder, who is mentally unstable, who has an eating disorder, who has a gambling problem? And if we are able to predict who might have a predisposition for one of these conditions based on public information, what will researchers or companies do with this data? So this brings us to our discussion questions. Do organizations have the right to mine and analyze our social media to determine if we have a substance abuse problem or other health issue? How far is too far? Do you think it's appropriate or ethical that people that are categorized as low income are only shown low quality, poor interest rate mortgages and advertisements? Data brokers are organizations that collect and sell aggregated data about individuals. Do you think the collection, mining, analysis, and sale of your social media data is an invasion of privacy? And finally, I posted an article in my Canvas post. To read the article, let me know what your reaction is, and let me know if you've ever been targeted with an inappropriate ad. Finally, here's a list of the resources I used for today's presentation. Thank you all so much for watching, and good luck in the remainder of the semester.